Hey everyone! So if you've seen my previous video on Typeless, you know I'm a fan. But that video was more focused on the desktop app, and honestly, the mobile version might be more impressive, because that's where most of us are doing real-world communication. So Slack messages, Notion notes, emails on the go, and that's exactly what I want to show you today. So let's dive in. Now, first things first, let's get the app on your phone. So head on over to the Apple Store or Google Play and search for Typeless. Download it and open it up. And the first thing that it's going to ask you is a couple of permissions: microphone access as well as keyboard access. Both of these are necessary for it to do its thing, so go ahead and grant those. Now, once you have it set up, Typeless installs a custom keyboard on your phone. So wherever you normally tap the keyboard icon to switch keyboards, that's where you'll find Typeless waiting for you. For iOS, you can switch to the Typeless keyboard by tapping on the globe icon. All right, so the core feature and the reason why you're here is dictation. So let me go ahead and pull up Slack and start a message to my team. I tap the message field and switch to the Typeless keyboard. And you'll see the microphone button right there. Now I tap it to start talking. Hey team, just a heads up, I'm gonna be a few minutes late to stand up today. My morning is a little chaotic, but I'll be there. Just start without me and I'll jump in when I can, thanks. And when I'm done, I tap it again. In just a second, it's going to take everything I said, clean it up, format it, and drop polished text right into the message field. No rambling, no repeated words, no or like. It just sounds like you meant to write it that way. And honestly, on mobile, especially where typing on a tiny keyboard is a pain, this to me is a game changer. Now here's something that really sets Typeless apart from just about every other dictation tool out there. You don't have to think about structure while you're talking. Most dictation tools are basically just transcription. You say the words, they type the words. But Typeless actually understands what you're saying. It reads the semantics of your speech and automatically organizes it. Paragraph breaks, formatting, flow, all of it's handled for you. So if you're drafting a long Notion note or a detailed Slack update or even an email, you can just talk. Stream of consciousness, full thoughts, no stopping to manually punch in lines or reformat anything. Typeless figures out where one idea ends and where the next begins. It structures it accordingly after that. On mobile especially, where stopping to fiddle with format is a real interruption, that's a massive advantage in my opinion. Now, one thing you'll want to do early is build out your personal dictionary. If you use a lot of industry-specific terms, and if you're in e-learning like I am, you definitely do. Typeless may not know those words out of the box. So inside of the Typeless app, tap on Dictionary. You can add new words by clicking on the plus icon on the bottom. But AI will also learn new words and store them here as you start to use them. It could be things like tool names, company names, acronyms. Whatever you use all the time, once it's there, Typeless will recognize it and spell it out correctly every time. Now let me show you this in a couple of apps to really bring things to life. So let's start out with Slack. I'm going to respond to a thread here. I tap in the text field and you'll see that I still have my Typeless keyboard enabled. Now I'll dictate my reply. Yeah, the new module is looking good, and we finished the first draft of the interactions today, and we're on track to hand it off by review, or we're on track to hand it off to review by the end of the week. So I'll tap stop and boom, full reply, ready to send. I didn't have to correct a single word on the phone. Now that would have taken me maybe like 45 seconds of pecking on the keyboard. That took me like 10 seconds to say. Now bare notes, same thing. I got a bare note up. I'll tap in the text and make sure that my keyboard is enabled, and I'll start talking. Okay, so for the custom e-learning project here, here's what we need to have happen. We need to finalize the color palette and get sign off from the client, get sign off from the client. Then we can start building out the slide templates, and that's done. And once that's done, the dev team needs to finish the SCORM package and test it in the LMS. And then finally, we'll have to do a full review before we send it out for official UAT. Now, it formats all that correctly. It puts it inside of bullet points as well. Now, Typeless isn't just a standalone notes app. It lives inside whatever app that you're actually using. And that's the thing that most people miss until they actually try it. Now here's where it really gets cool, and this is my favorite feature on mobile. After you dictated something, you can select a chunk of text, and there's a little magic wand icon that pops up. Tap that, and you can ask Typeless to do something with that selected text. You can reformat it, tighten it up, make it more professional. You can make it more casual, whatever you need. So let's say that I just dictated a quick note, and it sounds a little rough even after cleanup. I select it and then tap the wand and say, make this more concise. And it rewrites it on the spot, right inside of Slack or even inside of Notion. No copying and pasting from other apps like you would have to do with other AI tools. And then there's translation. And this one, in my opinion, is seriously underrated. Now, if you tap and hold the dictate button, instead of just tapping it once, you'll unlock the translation mode. You can dictate in one language and have it come out in another. Or, and this is really useful, you can select the existing text and translate it after the fact. So let's say I'm in an app and I need to send a message in Spanish. I will press and hold the microphone icon and move my finger up to translate. Now I just talk. What time are you planning on being there? When I'm done, it'll translate it into Spanish and then I can go ahead and send it. You could also take English text and tap the magic wand and ask it to translate it into something else. Translate this into Spanish, and boom, it changes the text into the desired language. So that's Typeless on mobile. Getting the app is easy. The App Store, Google Play, just search for Typeless and it's right there. The setup takes maybe a couple minutes, and after that, it just lives on your keyboard and shows up everywhere. Now, if you want to try it out, there's a link in the description below. And if you use my link, you'll get a $5 credit towards your purchase. And if you want to go deeper, I'll link my original Typeless video up on top here so you can check that out as well. Let me know in the comments if you're a mobile first person or if you live in your desktop, because I think the answer to that might change which version of Typeless matters most to you. I'd love to hear it. Now, as always, if you find this helpful, hit that like button. It genuinely helps out my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everyone.